is a live look at Gahanna Lincoln Stadium. It's quiet now, but it won't be for long.
Tonight, undefeated seasons, an Ohio Capital Conference Championship, and bragging rights all on the line as Gahanna Lincoln will host Pickerington North.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lincoln Sports Zone. I'm Hudson Schulman.
And I'm Landon Shear. Hudson, how excited are you for a game tonight?
I'm so pumped, Landon. I know it's a big rivalry game, and I know both teams are going to ball out.
Can't blame, man. It's going to be a great game.
All of Central Ohio will have their eyes on the Lions and Panthers game tonight.
In fact, this is the first time since 1999 that two Central Ohio teams are ending Week 10 with perfect 9-0 records.
These are two bitter rivals. Last year, Gahanna Lincoln blew out Pick North 42-2 in Week 10 at Pick North.
The Lions went on to reach the state Final Four.
To give us an inside look at tonight's game, let's head out to the stadium where Macy Lamb joins us live.
Hey, Macy, it's going to be a crazy one tonight, isn't it?
It sure is, and I bet you the stadium is going to be packed.
The Lions are definitely facing a tough team tonight. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
You're right, Hudson. This is the game that both teams have been winning for all season. Let's take a look at the Pick North Panthers, who entered tonight with a perfect 9-0 record. Pick North trailed New Albany 14-0 last week before rallying for the 21-17 win. Their defense is stubborn, giving up just 17 points per game. Quarterback Landon O'Connell has thrown for 1,588 yards and 18 touchdowns. They have a very balanced offensive attack. The headliner was running back Sam Williams-Dixon, who was committed to Ohio State, but he's no longer playing for the Panthers. Replacing him are juniors Michael Taylor and Dorian Hamilton. Now for the Lions. They are also 9-0, and after a close game in Week 1 against Mason, the Lions haven't really been tested. Senior Dior Hubbard leads the Gahanna Lincoln offense with 1,220 yards and 18 touchdowns. Junior Brennan Wood has had a great season as well. Ward has thrown for 1,825 yards, 16 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions in 9 games. So as you can see, these two teams are both balanced, and a look at their statistics show just how close they really are. The Lions have scored 330 points this season compared to the Panthers' 323. Meanwhile, the Lions defense has given up just 98 points, and Pick North has given up 159. That's 6 more points per game than Gahanna. Even when you look at the yards, the teams are similar. Both teams have balanced attacks. Gahanna has rushed for 1,441 yards and has thrown for 1,443, while Pick North has run for 1,544 and passed for 1,495. And the coaches agree the two teams are very similar.
Yeah, it's a huge game. It's one of those games, we've been talking this year, after the first few weeks, everybody's been talking about the Week 10 matchup, expecting us both to be 9-0. And, with the schedules that we both play, the tough schedules, it's pretty impressive that both of us came to this spot, both being undefeated.
They're good. They're obviously the number 2 team in the state, so they're good. I expect them to be pretty good. They have a good quarterback, good running game. I think we do as well, but we'll see what happens on Friday night.
So that's a look on the two teams. Now let's send it back over to Hudson and Landon at the sports desk.
Thanks, Macy.
One quick question, Macy. I know they play in the same conference, so they've had some common opponents. How did they fare against those common opponents in the Ohio Capital Conference?
Well, Hudson, the Lions have outscored their common opponents by 178 points. Meanwhile, the Panthers have outscored their common opponents by only 119 points. So the Lions have been just a little bit more dominant in the OCC.
Thanks, Macy. Great job.
Enjoy being at the game tonight.
Both Gahanna Lincoln and Pickerington North have clinched top 4 spots in the opening round of the state playoffs, and that means both teams will host playoff games next week.
Currently, Hilliard-Bradley is ranked first in the region, followed by the Panthers. The Lions are third, so a ton of playoff points are up for grabs this week.
The top 16 teams in the region qualify for the state playoffs.
If an OCC championship and being the top seed in the playoffs aren't enough to play for, the Lions are trying to become the first team in Gahanna to finish the regular season with a 10-0 record since 1998. On the flip side, when we were at Pickerington North High School earlier this week, Coach Helvis told us that since Pickerington North High School opened in 2003, the Panthers have never had a 10-0 season.
Wow, certainly a lot of history to be made tonight on both sides. The game tonight will be one to remember, from the experience itself to a conference championship being on the line. Sure, Pickerington Central is closer geographically to Pickerington North, and New Albany is closer to Gahanna.
But these two have met in Week 10 ever since the OCC was realigned, and they both look forward to ending the regular season with this rivalry game.
I went over to Pickerington North this week to get their views on the rivalry, and what I learned is that the Panthers are also counting down the seconds to kickoff.
The Gahanna football team is one of the best in Central Ohio every year. Being one of the best, you always have huge rivalries. However, one in particular stands out from the rest: Pick North.
I think this game is a rivalry. Obviously, it's Week 10. I think we're two of the better teams in the Ohio division of OCC. So we're familiar with each other as far as staffs and players. So I believe that makes this game a much much better rivalry.
I think what makes it, pretty neat is it's week 10. So, we kind of transitioned into the league where Pickerington Central left our league. I think we all kind of looked at this game, which, it could be for the league title, hopefully every year. And really, it's kind of been that way.
The rivalry has always been huge, but this year, it's a little different, as both teams are trying to achieve something bigger than an outright OCC championship.
This is a very big achievement. No school or no team in Pick North history has ever won 10-0 in the regular season, so this will be a big achievement for us, an accomplishment.
This is the first time since 1999 that two teams undefeated 9-0 are coming into Central Ohio into this undefeated game. And what makes it special is that two teams have something really to prove, and also a good seeding that will help them, for the regional title. Gahanna wins, boom, we have a lot to prove. Also, doesn't put us on the map for Central Ohio, but also put us on the map for the state.
With the two teams playing every year and seeing each other so much in the offseason, it leaves you thinking, how much do these guys really know each other?
With Pick North being so close, we get to know many of their players and going to camps and just showcases against them. I think that's going to be bring another level of competitiveness to the game, be able to play against them, and just being, talking to them through the off season and just talking a little bit of football against them.
Last year was a very one-sided matchup, as Gahanna won 42-2 to win outright OCCs. With how lopsided the game was, it makes you wonder, how much grit does Pick North have this year to get revenge on Gahanna?
Yeah, we got that in our head for sure. That's burning. We're itching. Obviously, it's a big game, great opportunity to be in, and our team's just excited to do the little things right.
With last year's game being 42-2, I'm sure that's extra motivation for Pickerington to want to play better this game. So obviously it puts a lot of pressure on us of trying to recreate the event and play just as well as we did last year. So I'm sure they'll come in with extra motivation and ready to play.
As the Lions and Panthers get ready to compete in a game for the ages, everyone will find out tonight who really is the best in the OCC.
Now, it's time to break down tonight's matchup. In Hudson for Gahanna, it starts with Dior Hubbard.
Dior was Mr. Ohio football all-finalist last year when he ran for 2,365 yards. This year so far, he's run for 1,220 yards and 18 touchdowns. Dior is a University of West Virginia commit, and he's shown why all season long. He's the gas that fuels that Lions offense. Now, Landon, can you tell us a little bit about the Pick North offense?
Well, Pick North, they were led by Samuel Williams-Dixon, who's an Ohio State commit, but he hasn't played since week 5. So don't let that fool you into thinking Pick North doesn't have a great running game. The Panthers have two backs to share the load. Michael Taylor, who has rushed for 588 yards and 9 touchdowns, and Dorian Hamilton, who has rushed for 414 yards and 14 touchdowns. So when you compare the Gahanna rushing attack to the Pick North rushing attack, they produce similar numbers, just with a different approach. Hubbard gets the bulk of the carries for Lincoln, and the Lions are averaging more yards per carry than the Panthers. Meanwhile, Pick North is a backfield by committee, and as a whole, they've rushed for just 13 more yards than the Lions. Hudson, I know we've been talking about Pick North offense, but what about Gahanna's offense?
I think the keys for the Lions offense tonight are definitely being efficient in the air, but also utilizing the ground game. Brendan Ward has been throwing close to 70% accuracy on the year while averaging 202 yards per game with a staggering 130 QBR. Pick North is holding teams to an average of 45 passing yards per game, so we need to get guys like Jaylen Scott, Jeremiah Watkins, and Amir Simmons involved early and often. Watch for a relatively conservative passing attack with some deep shots early.
I really like your point there about the offensive efficiency, Hudson. Can we maybe talk about the Gahanna defense?
Yeah, I think you actually have some information on that Gahanna defense.
Well, Pick North has a very similar offense to us. They like to, with their running game that they have, they like to make defenses collapse. And they want to make sure that we got to make sure that we hit those gaps and on run plays and staying alert as DBs and safeties. Do not allow O'Connell and the receivers to spread out across the field. Quan Rhodes-McKee leads Gahanna with 83 tackles. The Lions average over 8 tackles for loss per game. And Eli King leads the team with 12 sacks. So they'll definitely have to apply the pressure tonight.
It's safe to say that our new stadium is going to be packed tonight. And students who want a spot in our student section, the Den, better arrive early.
The Den will definitely be rocking and doing everything they can to give the Lions a true home field advantage.
And I spent last week in the Den. Friday night, under the lights. One of Gahanna Lincoln's hot spots during the fall. The stadium rumbling. The pressure is on.
So the vibe that our student section brings is amazing to the football players. The football players really need us. I feel like if we don't have much energy in our student section, they won't really want to, they'll want to win, but they won't want to win for us.
We all know that they want it more than anyone else. But what intensity can the Den bring to the players?
In
energy we bring to the game gets the players really ready to go and really excited to get out on the field and gets them really pumped.
The leaders work hard to put on a show for those in the stands. Their contributions are most felt by the players.
The Den means everything to us as a football team. You know, we feed off them. The energy is huge on 3rd and 4th downs. You know, and just looking up into the stands, remembering kind of why you're doing this for the community, for your classmates you see every day. It's huge. I mean, there's nothing else like playing for the people you love at your school.
I feel like the Den, it brings a lot of energy to us and our team. Like, I know when we run out the tunnel, we look up there, everyone's screaming. It brings a lot of energy and excitement, so that's definitely something that we look forward to playing at home. It definitely makes a difference in the games.
The players are so greatly affected by the Den's energy, but the steps the leaders take outside of the games can sometimes be more impactful.
All of the posts that we make, all of the themes that we create, it's all for the football team, it's all for the student section, it's all to get us all hyped and prepared for the game.
While social media outreach is a large aspect of the student section's job, at the end of the day, they're just there to pump up the players.
I really think the student section benefits the players in a huge way. Like, if we weren't here getting loud every time they did something good, every time we got a stop on defense, every time we scored a touchdown, I mean, the players wouldn't have any energy. And if there's no energy, like, why do they want to win?
The student section must be doing something right in way of motivation, as the team has played their way into a scorching hot 9-0 season. While some may say that the team can only go as far as the skill they play with, it really comes down to the support they get from fans.
I can't wait to be in that Den tonight, Hudson, but what about you, Hudson?
I'm excited too, Landon. I'm really excited to see what the team can do tonight, especially receiver Jaylen Scott.
Senior Jaylen Scott has hauled in a team-high 34 catches for 734 yards.
That's 21 yards per catch. He's also scored 10 touchdowns.
Let's go back out live to the stadium where our Taylor Braun is standing by with the profile of the Lions' leading receiver.
Hey, Taylor.
How excited are you for the game tonight?
I can't wait. It's been an incredible season for the Lions, and especially meaningful season for Jaylen Scott, who's put up some impressive numbers. And it's the number 11 on his jersey that means the most to him.
Today I'm joined here by Jaylen Scott, captain senior on the Lincoln Lions football team. So Jaylen, tell me about this week preparation heading into this big week game.
It's laser focus, of course, that's number one, and then reflecting on the past 9 weeks, we really didn't do perfect all 9 weeks, but there are some games where we did. So we just trying to pick out those games and just play how we played those games and really just put forth our best effort.
You know, by putting forth your best effort, you know, that's been shown out through all these games with you guys being 9-0 this week. You know, I just want to reflect on how does being 9-0 all these past weeks help you prepare, you know, for this rest of the season?
We just know that we can be great, and every week we just try to be a step greater than we were last week. So being 9-0 really just proves our point of us being the team that we can be and that we know we can be. So we just go out and play like we can every week.
You know, with you also being a big contributor, not on just the offense side of the ball, but the defense side of the ball, how do you feel about yourself, about how you've been performing lately?
I feel like that's like a good thing because I just want to do everything to help the team reach their max potential and just have fun with it. Because offense and defense is just like, it's just fun for real. And just playing both sides of the ball it's tiring, but it could be fun.
Yeah, and also with that, you know, you've been running number 11 for the past 4 or 5 years, right? Yeah, 4 years. You know, how has that been for you, and what are your emotions towards, you know, wearing number 11?
Wearing number 11, it's just been like something that my brother left for me, so I just take it in as like a significant thing in my life and just like, all right, this is how we rock, and this is how I'm going to keep my brother's name going. And then like the significance I wanted to leave at this school and like the whole community is just like a memory. Like Jashawn was a special person to everyone in this community, so just keeping it here and keeping it retired will be a fun thing to have.
Yeah, you know, leaving that legacy is nothing better than leaving a legacy for people to leave behind, something to hold on to remember, you know, because he was a great guy. And lastly, you know, since you've been having this great season, what are your post-high school things that you want to do?
I just want to go play Division I and I think college that offers me any scholarship.
Well, Jaylen, that's all I have for you today. I appreciate your time here to come with me to sit down and have this one-on-one conversation. Good luck on the rest of your season.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dom. Tickets have been sold out since Tuesday, and this place is going to be insane tonight. Students especially should arrive early to get a spot in the den. Speaking of the game, we spoke with Athletic Director Harris earlier today, and she has some advice for our student section tonight. The gates will open at 6 o'clock p.m. Backpacks will not be permitted. No outside food or drinks are permitted as well. All sports passes will be accepted. Remember, QR codes are only good for one scan, so be mindful of tickets from other people. Most of all, Miss Harris says be loud and go Lions. So those are a few things you should consider for tonight's game. Remember, arrive early and plan for parking and walking. Now back to Landon and Hudson at the news desk.
Thanks, Taylor. It's going to be a great atmosphere tonight.
Taylor, could you tell us one more time when the gates open, what time students should be there if they want a spot in the den?
All right, gates open at 6 o'clock, but the line will start long before then, so plan accordingly.
Thanks, Taylor. One of the major reasons the Lions have been so good the past few years is the play of their defense.
We noticed just how animated defensive coordinator Murad Holiday is during games.
So we asked Coach Holiday to wear a mic during the Lions' last game, and he agreed.
Our Matthew Leesburg takes us down the sideline and into the locker room.
Starting our list off at number 5, Coach Holiday is loud and energetic and gets a workout with every play call.
Hey, slam! Slam Vandy! Slam Vandy! Pelican black! Pelican! Pelican!
Now to number 4. Coach Holiday wants everyone to play the game the right way and stay in their lane.
What's that? What was that? Hey, come on, Brian. You know you can't do that. You can't do that. 11 came over to the side. Come on, man.
Now to the top 3. After giving up a touchdown, Coach Holiday goes to the bench to fix the defense's communication problems.
Resilient. It happens, right? It happens. Now, let's change the narrative now. All right? Let's talk about what's going on. Number 1, we're not communicating. You're playing 10 yards off and you're supposed to be pressed. You're not standing there and getting the call. I know. You need to look over and get the call from me. You're playing Navy and we're playing Vandy. You know what I'm saying? So we need to communicate better, right? We need to communicate.
Coach Holiday has great chemistry with the players and appreciates it when the offense makes his job easier.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's a great job. Great job, O. Great job, O.
Now to number 1. After a rough first half, Coach Holiday wants to make sure the defensive players know the goal of the second half, to get into the backfield, or as they call it, their home.
But I need you guys to get freaking home. You need to get home. You need to get home, Quan. Do you understand me? Get home.
Some of the Lincoln Falls sports teams have concluded their seasons, but a few are still competing in the postseason.
And one of those is an Ohio Capital Conference champion. And to tell us about them, our Lila Scott joins us on the set.
Lila, how are we doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. The girls cross country team is definitely ready to run at the district meet this weekend. That's because they did something incredible over the weekend for the second year in a row. The Gahanna Lincoln girls are the 2023 OCC champions following their dominant performance at the conference meet at Lancaster High School. In cross country, the lowest score wins, and the Lions tallied just 26 points compared to second place New Albany's 59 points. So it was a fantastic showing by our girls. In fact, the Lions had 5 of the top 8 finishers. Ruby Lewis finished second, and she was followed by Abigail Young in third, Olivia Smeck in 6th, Eden Newman in 7th, and Rebecca Shope in 8th. And our girls were definitely excited after the race.
Our goal was to just go out and win, so I think we did a pretty good job of attacking that goal, and we did come out with the win, and we scored less than we were expected, which is a good thing. So we beat people that were projected to beat us, so we did pretty good. We capitalized on pack running, and taking out some of the other people that were matched up with us. So we did good on staying with our competition and beating them, and as a team just pushing each other. We just use this as a momentum push to push into districts, and we're just going to go out there and just hopefully use this as a momentum pusher and just keep on dominating.
Thanks, girls, and good luck at districts. Now to the boys, who finished 4th in the OCC meet behind champion Pickerington North, Westerville Central, and New Albany. Winnie Yamamoto was the top finisher for Gahanna, who finished 15th, with Camden Goddard in 19th, Ethan Lacrosse in 23rd, and Andrew Dietrich in 24th. And although they wanted to place higher, this isn't nearly enough to discourage our boys, whose hopes for district tomorrow afternoon are higher than ever. So we caught up with some of them after the meet to talk about their plans going forward.
It went pretty good for me. It was a tough race as a team. We came in with a strategy. Some things didn't go our way. We faced a lot of adversity today, but I think we did as good as we could today. We're just excited for districts next week.
Today's race, that middle mile was definitely the rough point. That's where I really fell back and I was kind of dying, but that last mile, that finish, I really tried to push it in and just catch as many guys as I could.
We did good attacking the hills. We did good getting out where we wanted to, pushing hard towards the end and focusing on the guys in front of us.
Districts, we are definitely going to need to fight harder, definitely perform way better than we did today. But it's definitely nothing we can't do. We can definitely do it.
Looking forward to districts. We had a lot of guys that we weren't able to race today, but we're hoping to get them back for districts, hoping to have the team together as a whole.
Our team is going to be tapering, and I feel like we'll be a little bit more fresh and more prepared for this race. I believe that we'll be able to make out of districts into regionals. We just need to put up a solid performance as a whole team, and we'll come out strong.
Thanks, guys. And speaking of the boys, senior Ben Couch runs cross country too, but he also lives a double life as King Louie, the Lions mascot. And when the Lions recently held their senior day meet, Ben Sad decided to surprise his son.
My name's Matt Couch. I'm Ben's dad, and tonight I wanted to surprise Ben and the cross country team as Louie the Lion.
Nice work, Mr. Couch. Well, that's a look at cross country. Let's send it back to Lynn and Hudson for a look at volleyball.
Thanks, Lila. Our girls volleyball team is headed into the first game of the tournament with a chance to win the OCC title.
The girls played Columbus West and demolished the Cowboys in 3 sets.
We sent Macy Lamb and Colton Light to get all the highlights.
Here they are.
The Lady Lions take on Columbus West for the first tournament game Monday night. Gahanna enters the tournament with a season record of 12-11. Meanwhile, Columbus West has a record of 12-10. Starting off the game, the Lady Lions score early with a kill from freshman Kaylee Jackson, putting the Lions up 1-0. McNeil at the service line, West gets it up, and the outside pushes it deep into zone 5. Up to Noelle Perkins and Jada Jones for the cross-court kill. Watley serves it for West. And after a long rally, it's up to Jackson with the middle kill of their hands. The Lions take first set 25-9. Johnson serving again. West barely gets it back over, and Perkins with a quick jump set to the outside for a kill from Ella Oswald. Nice float served by Johnson. Overpass from West, and McNeil slams it down. Lions lead 8-3. Free ball by West, over to Johnson. Perkins back sets it to Harvey for the cross-court kill. Match point for set 2, and Harvey pulls out the win with an ace. Lions win 25-11. Starting off the final set of the night, West overpasses it right to Jackson. Down the right seam for the kill. Lions lead 5-2. A few points later, Aubrey Ekesa back at the service line. West free balls it over. Johnson to Perkins, and then out to Oswalt for the kill off the block. It's now West's turn to serve the ball. Johnson gets the first hit and sets it up for McNeil to tip the ball over. Gahanna gains another easy point, 17-5. Match point for the final set of the game, and West misses the ball. Ending the third set, 25-10. The Lady Lions blew out Columbus West and took all 3 sets. The girls will take on Olentangy Braves next Wednesday.
I think the team did really well at communicating, and we were trying to pick apart their side and just focus on our own game plan and running our own game plan and just having high energy. So I think we did really good at that.
My goal is just to not get down on myself and keep pushing myself. And no matter if I get blocked or mess up, you're going to make mistakes in volleyball. It's a sport. It's okay. It's going to happen. Just keep pushing myself and keep playing.
Hey, am I dreaming, or is he really in the studio with us?
I think it's actually really real. RJ Rice in the flesh is in the studio. How you doing today, RJ?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm glad to be here. How you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good. What do you got for us?
Well, I figured since we had already covered football, it's about time that we turned our attentions towards football, starting with the varsity boys soccer team, whose season has come to a rather unfortunate close. Last night, they traveled to Westerville North, where the boys fought hard all the way through, but sadly couldn't get the win, ending the game with a 2-1 score for North. However, let's not forget to mention Joa Benjamin, who ended up netting an impressive goal in the first half. The Lions finished their season with an 8-8-2 record. But on a much more serious note, and positive note, let's take a look at girls soccer, where the Lady Lions are still very much alive in the state tournament. On Wednesday, they came out strong against Westerville South Wildcats in their final district game. They shut out the Wildcats 5-0 and are advancing to the second round. Aubrey Hank and Lauren Thomas scored 2 goals apiece, while Claire Highland added 1 goal as well. So we caught up with Megan Folk and Claire Highland to hear more about their success.
So I think we worked really good together tonight as a team, and especially getting through the back up to the midfield and up to offense that led to our goals. I think we combined really well and just did great as a team together.
Tonight I think we worked really well together as a team, and this was a really good win for us moving forward, and I think we just need to bring the same energy for our next game on Saturday.
Congrats, girls, and good luck tomorrow against Lancaster. The game is in our stadium starting at 7 o'clock. The Gahanna Lincoln Athletic Hall of Fame is a prestigious honor for alumni who excelled at sports in high school. Recently, 6 alumni were honored with being named the Hall of Fame class of 2023. Our Katie Bailey has their story.
6 past Lincoln athletes are the class of 2023 Gahanna Lincoln Athletic Hall of Fame inductees, and it means a lot to them.
Been a part of Gahanna Lincoln for a big part of my life. And guys that went before me and guys that are now going after me, I'm very proud of them.
Mostly it means that I had some really fantastic coaches. And I think about all of those coaches that guided me and taught me and mentored me. And I know that I wouldn't be here receiving this honor without all of that. So it's pretty awesome.
It's been a while since these Lions dressed in the gold and blue, but they still hold many memorable moments near and dear to them.
Beating Pickerington at their home field our senior year at their homecoming and to win the OCC championship off that game.
The Friday night games, when you're sitting there and you're in the defensive backfield and it's tight game and you have the AKD playing and in the crowd, there's nothing better than that.
Coming back when I was 67 years old and coaching the freshman squad for 3 years with a new head coach, probably my biggest thing that I remember.
With their legacies being so impactful to Gahanna athletics, they have a message to share today to our student athletes.
To remember what they've done, pay attention to the friends they've made, the people they've worked with, because those people are also going to help make them who they're going to be.
Just know that, that when you're out there competing for the blue and gold, you're competing for your city, the community. This is a great community to be a part of. Everybody pours into this community, and just remember that. When you wear that blue and gold, you're representing pride, the pack, all for one and one for all.
So let's congratulate our 2023 inductees into the Gahanna Lincoln Athletics Hall of Fame.
Congrats to all the inductees. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. So I'm going to let Landon and Hudson take it from here.
Thank you so much, RJ.
Now, we'd like to salute our Sports Zone Players of the Week.
We had a lot of great performances to pick from, but we could only pick 2.
Our first winner is Ruby Lewis. Ruby led the girls cross country team to their second OCC title in 2 years. Ruby finished second overall in the OCC race, and she looks to do great things this weekend at districts.
Next is Cameron Frazier. He had a 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown in the win over Grove City, and he is now the leading kickoff returner in the state of Ohio. He's returned 8 kicks this season for, get this, an average of 51 yards per game per return. That's crazy. Well, folks, another exciting episode of the Lincoln Sports Zone is coming to an end.
But don't worry, because we'll be back with some even more action and entertainment for you guys.
But until then, good luck to all the Lincoln Fall Sports athletes still competing in their seasons.
We'll see you soon, Lincoln. And as always,
go Lions!